Hi fam, my name is TiffieStarchild for Black Nerd Problems, and can I just talk to y'all for a second? Can I get this off my chest? We need to talk about blackwashing because it's just that time of year, I guess. And I actually made a video about this a couple of years ago when Halle Bailey was announced as Ariel for the new live-action Little Mermaid movie. I only talked about that character specifically and not blackwashing as a whole, so yeah, I would absolutely love to get into this. And it's a little bit frustrating because these conversations are happening, the articles are being written, but it feels like the audience that really needs to tune into this message, they're not the ones receiving it, but we're not gonna not talk about it, so here we go. So first, what is blackwashing? That is really easy on paper. It's taking a non-black character from any medium, a book, a video game, whatever, and then changing their race to black when moving them to another medium or form of art, usually film or television. Changing the race to black, that's it. But because I'm thorough, I went to the University of Google to see if I can bring you just like a better worded, more nicely packaged definition. And what I said works, but do you know what else I found? This shit! To present someone in the worst possible light. An attack intended to ruin somebody's reputation. Character assassination. I just started this video. This is not even where I wanted to go, but do you see the damage that's already inflicted by just assigning this name? But to even get into blackwashing, we gotta talk about whitewashing first, which is taking a non-POC character and basically removing all the soul, the swag, literally anything that made the character dope. All flavor, like not a speck of seasoning can remain behind. And we see this happen like all the time. This is like Hollywood's favorite thing to do. And there are countless examples throughout the history of the film industry. But if we want to keep it relevant to just the nerd shit that we're on, I didn't even know that Angelina Jolie's character in Wanted was originally written as a black woman that was inspired by Halle Berry. Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins wasn't giving me like evil genius, supervillain, eco-terrorist of Arab descent, but I was getting strong, accidentally snitch on yourself by posting pictures to social media after visiting the Capitol on January 6th type vibes.
Aesthetic.
This bullshit, maybe it is the Prince of Persia, not the Prince of Privilege. I don't condone violence, but sometimes you just gotta slide somebody. We even tried to tell her, and y'all already fucking know. So we have these dope stories and these dope concepts, and then they either strip away all cultural relevance and they leave us with this dry, dusty, flour-flavored, vanilla, tasteless shit. Or even worse, they leave it alone and they just plug in Chet or Katie Kaboom right into the culture because you know what they love doing more than anything else? Being not in their business. I am visual. This is their business, and this is them outside of their business, literally everywhere else, and not where they're supposed to be. And even within that, there are layers to why it's so fucked up that we don't even have time to get to in this video. But just real quick, can they fuck up their own stories, please? It's just that it's hard to get your stories told if you are a creator of color because of systemic racism. And while Hollywood shouldn't be at the center of film and media entertainment, you really can't deny the impact or the importance of it. And that's why it sucks when these stories have a chance to get told with all the bells and the whistles and the big budget, and then they essentially fumble the bag. They trip at the finish line. And it's not just the actors that we see on screen, it's the writers and the directors and the producers and the makeup artists, the composers, every step of the way. There's no way in 2021 we should still be telling brown stories with mostly white creative teams. It doesn't make sense. They should only really be contributing money. If you created and benefited from a racist system that gave you easier access to create and maintain power and wealth, but you just need to be involved with telling these black and brown stories, then put up the money that you stole, then take a back seat and stay silent. Bringing this back around to blackwashing or brownwashing, whatever you want to call it, casting a person of color in a role that was originally white. It does not exist. You can call it whatever you want to, but it doesn't compare to the damage that's been inflicted by whitewashing. Whitewashing has created and perpetuated stereotypes for generations. It has literally shaped the way that we see cultures or places that we didn't have access to other than the glimpses that we saw in media and entertainment. It closes doors, it silences voices, it restricts opportunity. It is erasure, and in case I'm not making myself very clear, it's also a form of violence. Casting a person of color just does not have the power power to do that. The only thing that is being hurt, fucking feelings. So let's use Halle Bailey as Ariel as an example. One of the loudest arguments is that rewriting Ariel as a black character takes that job away from a white actress, or it takes that representation away from a young child that maybe needs to see that. And it just doesn't work that way. That specific character, or multiple characters, or even the entire story might change to include people of color, and y'all just kind of have to sit there and eat that and be sad. I didn't have any Disney princesses that looked like me when I was coming up, but that didn't stop me from loving Princess Jasmine, or Ariel, or Snow White, or Belle, until the incident. The point being, black and brown children have always had to find ways to identify and connect with characters that did not physically look like them or culturally represent them. If you suddenly can't relate to Ariel because she's black, or Tinkerbell because she's black, or Snow White because she's Hispanic, then you's a whole racist. And I already know somebody ignorant ass about to be in the comments talking about, y'all would be upset if it was reversed. You shut the fuck up, Josh, because ain't no if it was reversed. It's been reversed. It's your only play. We've been over this. That's why there's an issue. Please keep up. And then they always want to change a character where race is actually an important part of the story. Tiana, in that story, had to be a black woman in the 1920s to face that racial discrimination. Thanks for that, Disney. T'Challa, because people love bringing that up. What if there was a White Panther? Which, first of all, you're so ugly. And of course we're used to seeing Ariel with the red hair and blue eyes and pale skin. All of those are iconic to the image, but they're not actually important to her character. Any one of those elements can change and she would still be a dumb little girl doing the absolute most for a nigga that does not deserve it. And such stupidity will never be limited by the constraints of race. And again, if Ariel just suddenly isn't Ariel for you only because her skin color changed, then you are a racist. This really deserves its own video because there's a lot to say about it, but real quick. For those that feel that Disney and other big studios are just pandering by changing these iconic characters these way, can you stop? Anti-blackness is worldwide, so I don't even know if the payoff of that decision is worth it for Disney money-wise. But even if it is, they're a company. Money is the bottom line, and why are we pretending like it's not? I'm not really surprised or upset if money was the motivating factor with just a side benefit being diversity. Like, I'll take it. It's also not stopping them from creating new original characters and stories, but that takes time, and y'all don't like to talk about them. And when you do, you rip these projects to shreds. I absolutely think that we should continue to have conversations with these studios when they do make mistakes. We should let them know, and that's how we're going to see it improve, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Sometimes y'all go really hard trashing things just because. It's like you're never satisfied. So then it's big, we don't need them. We should create our own energy, and I agree with it. So why aren't you supporting those creators that are making these original black and brown characters and comic books and film and television and trying to get their things pitched, trying to get support for it, trying to get the Kickstarters going? Where's the support for those? So forgive me, like, the message is just a little bit skewed. Like I said, it doesn't seem like you're looking for a solution. I guess I don't understand complaining when these studios make this decision, because it doesn't stop any of these other smaller projects from happening. It doesn't stop those other characters from being created, but the support just isn't there. And I'm greedy, fam. I want it all. The limit does not exist. There is no safe word. So yes, I will take that shit. Give me a black Ariel and a black Tinkerbell and a Hispanic Snow White. I want an Asian Cinderella. Give me an Indian Sleeping Beauty or a Middle Eastern Rapunzel. Oh my God. That would be so pretty. Okay, I'm back. But hopefully this video helped to shed a little bit of light on the issue of whitewashing and why black and brown washing are really stupid names, but also don't really exist. And conversations like this kind of suck, but I do appreciate y'all watching this video and writing it out with me. Please make sure that you are following Black Nerd Problems across all social media, as well as me, TiffieStarchild, and I will see you next time.